love me. Can't keep it real if you really don't trust me. Come with a real, you hip in the front seat. Get my meals, I'm gunning for the money. Money in the bank. Come on with a dank, skrilling in the tank, rolling with the gang. You sitting out on the sideline, till I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin. Yeah. I'm okay.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on Woodward Sports. Make sure you smash that like button. I am Spencer Raxter. He is Nicholas Kohloff.
Go!
And as always, we got Chris in the TD booth. Platte Pods. Make sure you smash that like button. We appreciate you for joining us. We truly do. And we have a new goal in the Woodward Sports chat. Obviously, we have the overwhelming goal that if we make $1,000 here on the Heavyweights this week, Nick will dye his mustache blue.
For the playoff run.
For the playoff run. He will keep it blue for the whole playoff run. This special today is at 15 orange super chats. I will sing the Michigan fight song.
Let's go. Come on.
So, yeah, there's that out there. We got a lot to talk about today. You know, there was some Vikings fans popping off on Twitter talking about
some bull.
Yeah, some bullshit. And I'm not going to give it any attention. You lost. Go home. Think about you next year, you little pussies. Go lose in Los Angeles and have a good offseason.
Yeah, go make love to a pillow.
Go make love to a pillow.
Exactly.
Couldn't put it any better myself. But the most important news of today, the breaking news of today, Dan Campbell said it in his press conference that he expects David Montgomery to return to this team and be a part of the Detroit Lions when they make the divisional round home Ford Field playoff game. David Montgomery, Knuckles, sounds like he's going to suit back up.
How electric and perfect timing is this? I mean, we get the bye week. We don't have to, play however many weeks in a row because we get this bye. It is so important moving forward. David Montgomery means so much, and we've seen what Gibbs can do with the extra workload, but to be able to give him breaks and for D-Mont for those big rushes when you need a first down, when you need to get in, this is everything for this Detroit Lions team, and specifically Jahymr Gibbs to give him a little bit of a break as well.
Give him a breather, and Craig Reynolds has done a very good job filling in. We saw it last week against the Vikings. Craig Reynolds made some big plays. Obviously, Jahymr Gibbs more than capable of doing it himself, but having David Montgomery back, what he means for the locker room, what he means for the game plan, what he means for those first drives, because they stalled out on their first drive against the Vikings. They stalled out, didn't have a good first drive against the 49ers. David Montgomery is the tone setter of this team. On that first drive, him punching you in the mouth, hopefully that will get this offense back in the flow of things early. Obviously, they took care of business in the second half against the Vikings, but they were a little slow in the first half.
Yeah, that's a great point there, Spencer. And I think you saw it against the Bills when you weren't able to respond after that slow start. I mean, obviously the Vikings and Bills are different caliber teams, but when you go up against a Philadelphia team and you start slow, if the other team's putting up points, you're going from behind now. And I do think David Montgomery, to set the tone early for this Detroit Lions team, it's almost like, all right, we got a heavyweight matchup, and you just got hit in the face early.
Especially
how do you respond?
In the playoffs, especially at home. It's just going to make the game plan so much easier when you got that hammer in there.
Yep.
And we're going to get into that. We got Dan Campbell's full comments about all of the injuries, all of the players that we're expecting possibly to come back. Carlton Davis, Derek Barnes, Aiden Hutchinson, all these different guys, including the players that got injured against the Vikings, Terrion Arnold, Kevin Zeitler, Pat O'Connor. What is going to be going on with them going forward? We have Dan Campbell's audio on that from his press conference today, but I was saving this until Easy got back. He's dealing with a little will tummy wumbles. will Easy got to kiss tummy wumbles. So he's not here again today.
Ebola.
But we have an opportunity, boys, as a show, as a network, to do something groundbreaking in the state of Michigan, in the city of Detroit. Because on June 23rd, I believe, a Tuesday, the Woodward Heavyweights will be broadcasting live from Hayes Social for midget wrestling. We got the flyer here.
21st.
The Midget Wrestling All-Stars Little Mania at Hayes Social. It'll be Tuesday, January 21st. Stick told me about this. He was like, yeah, we're having the midget wrestling at Hayes Social. I was like, dude, what? We got to fucking broadcast for this. So we're going to be broadcasting for it. Stick's going to do some more research. if we could have the streaming rights for it as well.
Oh God.
And possibly, do some play-by-play and some ringside stuff. But we're going to be going live from Hey Social on the 21st for midget wrestling. So I'm really excited. I'm not. You guys know I'm a fan of the vertically challenged. I love the vertically challenged. I've made love to the vertically challenged. But I think this is going to be fun, man. I went to a couple of DMAX stuff, at the old Miami.
Yeah,
these deathmatch wrestlings, they're fun, man. It's a fun environment. You just get a little buzzed, just see some people hammer each other, smash lights over each other's heads. It's a fun environment to be in.
This looks like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity at Hey Social.
Yes.
So make sure you guys get your tickets so you can be there with us while we are commentating on the midget wrestling. Shout out. It just seems like an absolute blast. Count me in. I'll definitely be having some cold ones, enjoying that. I don't know in what capacity I'll be working it, but I'm excited to be there.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do our regular show just live from Hey Social, and then I believe they start at 8 or they start at 7:30.
Okay.
So we're either going to, like I said, Stick's going to figure out what the broadcasting rights look like with this Little Mania. And that is the official name of it, is Little Mania. And we're going to be down at Hey, it's going to be a good time. I see JV saying he might have to come out to this one in the Woodward Sports Chat. A bunch of people down there. Just a fan talking about it. John effing Lord loves it. Steve O'Baby loves it. If you guys want to come out, I mean, go put the flyer up there one more time, Chris, because I don't know if it says stuff about like ticket prices and things like that.
I don't see any. It says 4 tickets. There's a QR code.
Okay, so there's a QR code there on the screen. There's also a website there. Can you read that website?
Yeah, here, let me zoom in a little bit more.
It says, I don't know. It's
LittleMania.com.
LittleMania.com?
LittleManiaWrestling.com.
LittleManiaWrestling.com. So if you want to get your tickets, go there first. This is going to be awesome. I'm excited for it. I'm going to have a blast. I know that D-Mac knows some of the guys involved in it. He's wrestled with them before. So I'm excited, man. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, what are your expectations on the call there?
I don't know.
Absolutely attack it?
I don't know. What? Yeah, I'm going to absolutely attack it. I'm going to be, you sick son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I don't know his name. JB, help me out in the chat. JB, you're good. You don't got to buy a ticket. We got you on the front row seat.
Oh, yeah. Shout out.
But what's his name, JB? The guy that does the ringside for WWE that always gets this sick son of a bitch. Like that. That's what I'm going to attack this with if we do get to broadcast it. That we're going to figure out. But we're definitely doing our show before it, and we're going to be there getting some content all night. So come out if you want to have a good time. And shout out to Dante151 with the super chat in the Woodward Sports Chat. He says the Bears are so damn stupid. Ryan Poles just said he was open to trade for a head coach amid Mike Tomlin and Kevin O'Connell rumors. Thank goodness we are Lions fans and not Bears fans. 100%. I mean, honestly, it wouldn't be the worst move if the Chicago Bears traded for Mike Tomlin or Kevin O'Connell, because I think those are two very good coaches. Depends on what you give up, obviously. But, yeah, thank godness we can just go out and get our own head coach like Dan Campbell. But Little Mania is going to be fire. It's going to be a good time. Jim Ross is everybody is who I
should have known that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm. You guys know I'm not the biggest wrestling fan, but
had my era. It was that Rey Mysterio era. Now I think Rey Mysterio's son is wrestling, so I've heard.
The most I got into wrestling was like playing the one for N64. That was I never really watched it that much because we didn't do pay-per-view at my house growing up. Then not a fucking chance we're doing pay-per-view. So
no, me neither.
I played the game. That's the most I really got
the game
into.
was definitely fun. We would play that back in the day, but yeah, we were definitely right there. Rey Mysterio, you talk about Undertaker days, little Kofi Kingston, I believe, was also in there.
Questionable skits, very questionable 2000s WWE skits. I mean, JBL rounding up some, doing some border patrol. You had Vince McMahon saying some wild things.
It was
crazy.
We would legitimately be hitting those moves on each other.
Yeah.
It was no problem at all. Realizing
I would be wrestling with my brothers and friends. We would do those but
Yeah.
I never really watched it.
Dude,
I think my buddy got suplexed on the playground. That was a tough one.
Yeah.
That was like had to watch that.
RKO was just the absolute.
yeah,
move.
RKO was everywhere.
F you. I did that, but when I wasn't the strongest, I would stick
Yeah.
to the RKO
My
because
God, he's
RKO you
broken
just gotta
in
like
half.
bring them down. You just gotta like put your weight on them and then they fall.
Yeah, and Luigi Gaming with the super chat says Ray is still going and it's on Netflix. Yeah, I didn't tap in, but all my friends were watching it. Yeah, this is I'm excited for this because I've been to a couple live wrestling events
Those
and
are
I've
fun.
had fun every single time.
Oh, yeah, dude,
it is a great time. So I'm excited for this. But another thing I'm extremely excited for. Kool-Aid teased it yesterday. We didn't get the graphic up, but we got it now. It happened. Cade Cunningham officially has his signature shoe.
Let's go.
You see it there. He's got the logo on it.
Here, let me zoom in on the logo.
Yeah, zoom in on the logo because that's honestly the coolest part of it is the logo.
No, that's one of the most fire.
the
logos.
double C,
It's
but
it's the double C.
looks like a kind of star.
It makes a star and it
Yep.
spells out his name. It spells out Cade. Like there's a C, an A, a D, and an E.
Damn.
In there with the double C that makes the star. And you guys,
Double chalk.
double shaboing boing, no axle grease. But I'm a sneakerhead. I like sneakers. I own upwards of 30 pairs of sneakers, and I'm gonna get this immediately. Like if this is out, if this drops, I need to get. I like the white, red, and cream colorway. So Ashton, Cannon, any of the Cunningham family, if you want to hook your boy up, I got size 14 in that red, cream, and white colorway. Be much appreciated. But I'm just happy for him, man. I believe this is the first thing I said on Twitter after Cade Cunningham got drafted #1 overall. I was like, a Detroit Piston is going to have his own signature shoe. And I'm going to fucking buy it.
Oh, dude.
So I can't wait.
I can't wait.
I thought they looked really good.
do.
Honestly, I liked the logo on it as well. And yeah, like you said, extremely well deserved for Cade Cunningham. As soon as we got him with the as soon as we got the #1 overall pick, I was on board. I actually bought season tickets. I had him the last 3 years. I bought him because of Cade Cunningham.
Yeah.
To get to where we are now. That's where I thought we'd be maybe a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. But we finally are there now. Sadly, I don't have the season tickets anymore. But Cade Cunningham is the reason I was all the way bought in that Detroit basketball would get back to, where it should be. And you're starting to see it right now. So shout out Cade. Congratulations on the shoes. They look fire.
Yeah, I'm just excited. Like you said, there's just we grew up with. You could get like a Chauncey shoe. I remember there was an era where there was a little Chauncey shoe, but you never had like the signature shoe from Nike, from a guy that is one of the best in the league. And that's what I've wanted my whole Piston era. I grew up on the 04 team, loving that team ball that we had. But ever since then, it's been about stars in the NBA. I mean, it's always been about stars in the NBA, and the Pistons haven't had that in my lifetime as a Piston fan. You had Andre Drummond, but that was never really a star. You had one season of Blake Griffin where he was absolutely phenomenal. So to have a guy that wants to commit here long term, that talks about, last season being such a struggle and that making him want to be here even more, man, dude, we're so blessed to have a guy like Cade Cunningham, and I'm glad to see it, and I'm glad the rest of the league sees it. Chauncey sees it. LeBron sees it.
Yep.
Everybody's talking about this Piston team, man. There's something real here. If you don't believe us, listen to the guys that are actually champions or Hall of Famers, because they say good things about what the Pistons are cooking up.
They do. They really appreciate what Cade's doing. A lot of these, legends in the game are acknowledging him for who he is and the superstar that he is becoming. We're going to talk about the Pistons because they did win again. We're going to get into that later. We got to talk Lions first, obviously, because Dan Campbell at the press conference dropped some great nuggets in there that we're going to go over. But another thing before we go to break here, and shout out to Chase for filling in. Appreciate you coming in late notice here. Chase told me this in the back, actually, that LiAngelo Ball is going to be performing at Rolling Loud this year. So I might swerve on that corner, woo, woo. Like that song, that's a good song. It's Say what you want. That is a banger.
I saw a funny meme earlier. It was like the classic George Bush. We're spinning here, and it's like I heard Jello's got another banger on. I heard he's got another one ready on deck.
I saw someone on Twitter say, if I would have told you in 2016 that the Detroit Lions would be celebrating clinching the #1 seed in the NFC by playing LiAngelo Ball's hit single in the locker room, you would have institutionalized me. I was like, honestly, it's a good song. Shout out! It's called Tweaker. It is a fire song.
It was actually I think it was almost top 10 rap stream song of the day when it first got released yesterday. So I mean, this is an actual legit record, and now you got the Rolling Loud. And like I said, he hasn't come out and said anything. He hasn't done any PR about it. Because I think this man is actually locked in the studio. I think he's working on the next one. For Rolling Loud, you just got to if you get 2 or 3 records, you're good. You're good. He's going to be there with Travis Scott, with A$AP Rocky. I think he's on A$AP Rocky's day.
Rocky.
So, man, dude, what a move for him. Is he an industry plant?
I don't know. I think the Ball family is just extremely talented. Like it's you look LeVar Ball, he's got to be up there for top 10 parent of all time, with what he's doing.
Dude. Yeah,
incredible. Shout out to that, and shout out to everybody in the Woodward Sports chat dropping those super chats. Just a fan in the Woodward Sports chat says, easy to get well soon. Shout out to Easy's Will Tummy Wumbles. Oh, you will Tummy Wumbles, Easy. And then shout out to Dante151. He says, Spenny, I think you would be a big Kenny Omega guy. Kenny Omega's finisher was called the One-Winged Angel because of course, Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII. That's cool. I've always said if I was in a UFC fight, I would walk out to One-Winged Angel, which is Sephiroth's theme music. I mean, Sephiroth, and just like boss music, like main boss music would be the music I would walk out to in a UFC fight.
Sounds like a nice hype up right there. But speaking of Ball, real quick before we get off it, this song's blowing up on TikTok. I mean, TikTok's powerful right now when it comes to this music. Honestly, it's blowing up. I've seen it, so I think it's a banger as well.
No, it's certified.
It is. Yeah, no, it's a good song. It legitimately is a good song.
It's going to chart.
It shit knocks in the car too. And so we're gonna go to break. We're gonna come back. We got the Dan Campbell video. We're going to play right out of break, him talking about the injuries and the guys that are possibly going to make it back to this team in the playoff run. But first, let me tell you about Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where everyone, and we mean everyone, can work out and get a full-body workout in 30 minutes in a judgment-free atmosphere, a friendly, knowledgeable staff to help you with whatever you need. And it's only $15 a month. You want to upgrade to the Black Card, you can get use of amenities like hydro massage, total body enhancement, and access to over 1,500 locations worldwide. Planet Fitness, join in club or online at planetfitness.com. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go!
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Listen, it's a new year. Get yourself some new Detroit sports gear. Head on over to WoodwardSports.com. Click that shop tab today. Get yourself some brand new merch. Hoodies, tees, hats, all of that at WoodwardSports.com. Click that shop tab today and get the flyest merch in the city.
Montgomery next week when you
I do.
Zeitler, O'Connor, and Arnold, I guess their updates news on Zeitler and Arnold. I can't guarantee that they're playing, but it's much better than it appeared to be when the injuries happened. So it's positive news. O'Connor is not as positive. It's the best way to say that for those three. Yes, ma'am.
About injuries too, but for long-term looking, like Carlton Davis, Derek Barnes, are they progressing like you would think?
They're doing great. I don't see them coming back at all. Those players won't. I don't see them coming back at all.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
How about Aiden?
Yeah, it's same thing. Look, I'm going to say it again. He has a season-ending injury, but if anybody can come back from this, it would be Aiden, is the best way to say it.
And that is from Dan Campbell's press conference today. First of all, we appreciate you for joining us. I am Spencer. He is Nick. We got Chase. We got Chris in the booths. We are the Woodward Heavyweights. Make sure you smash that like button. Get in there with those super chats if you want your comment to be jumped to the front of the line, and we'll read it right away. But Dan Campbell there in his press conference today talking about the injuries. He said he expects David Montgomery to be back in the next game. So the next time they play the divisional round of the playoffs in Ford Field, Dan Campbell fully expects Knuckles, a.k.a. David Montgomery, to go out there and suit up for the Lions. Terrion Arnold and Kevin Zeitler, he said, we're promising. Terrion Arnold already said himself he's going to play. He's day-to-day right now with a foot contusion. Yep. So that week off is definitely going to help him. Same with Kevin Zeitler. It was a hammy. Sounds like it was just a pull and nothing too big, not a strain or a tear, God forbid. I'm expecting him to play as well. And then you hear the bad news.
Yeah.
Carlton Davis, Derek Barnes, neither of which will be returning for this stretch run in the playoffs. But he kept the door open for Aiden Hutchinson.
True.
He kept the door open for 97. He said, if anybody can do it, it's going to be that big son of a bitch.
And, God. I mean, he left off with a little bit of something positive there. But after hearing the news, honestly, I think the biggest thing in that whole entire presser was that Carlton Davis isn't going to return. To me. Because I'm not looking past anybody. Don't get me wrong. But I am thinking about Super Bowl. I am thinking about Mahomes. I am thinking about Josh Allen. Carlton Davis was a leader on this defense, especially in that cornerback room. That's a really massive loss if he's not able to come back, which obviously it sounds like he's not. Yeah. You did get the positives with the week coming up. Those were positive updates. But to hear about Carlton Davis now being out for the year, it sounds like, from the head coach Dan Campbell, in the long run, I think that's going to be a bigger impact than some of these short-term losses.
Yeah, you
get back.
Carlton Davis was playing at an all-pro level before he went out, and so it sucks to hear that. It sucks to hear that he is done for the year, but Amik Robertson has stepped up in a big way since he has been out. Since he's moved to the outside, Amik Robertson has been very good for this Detroit Lions team, so I think the best news that came out of that was Terrion and Kevin Zeitler are not as bad as they expected, but another big loss. He said Pat O'Connor's was worse. It wasn't good. So you hate to hear that. Obviously, the news isn't out if he's done for the year or if it's just a game he's going to have to miss or 2 games, but Pat O'Connor, not as good as expected, but the bye week, you got Terrion and Zeitler both looking promising. That's good news for Lions fans.
Definitely. I think the Zeitler one is extremely big to have him back because we have liked what we've seen out of Mahogany in spurts, but he is a rookie. He's a 6th-round rookie. There's no other way around it. He doesn't have the experience as a guy like Kevin Zeitler. He has 7 career postseason games. This is a really key leader in that offensive line group that would be big to have in your first home game against, whoever wants to come in here and lose. Having Zeitler back is massive for the run game and the pass.
And Brandon Stanley in the Woodward Sports chat super chats it. So I'm forced to read it. He says, just have Hutch use the spare leg between his legs. He's got 3rd leg. Let him go out there. Call him tripod. But Chris, how do you feel about this? Biggest news, David Montgomery more than likely going to be back for that first playoff game.
That's the biggest news to me because now you're looking at an offense that is pretty much complete as it was last year. And I pair that with the Terrion injury not being as serious, and Zeitler too obviously was mentioned in that same sentence. But those to me are the big headlines. Why? Because we've had this conversation a lot. A lot of us believe, I think in fact all of us in this room believe we were a cornerback away from the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
The emergence of Amik, the emergence of Terrion. I'd like to get updates on Ennis Rakestraw just for a depth piece as well. But if you believe in Amik continuing to have success, if you believe in Terrion continuing to grow, and this offense being pretty much the same as it was last year, if not better, then by all means you should have Super Bowl expectations. You should be the Super Bowl favorites like Vegas has us right now. So to me, that was the big deal. I didn't expect Carlton Davis to be back. That blow does hurt.
Yeah.
But ultimately, if you believe in this cornerback room of what you have, in the secondary room of what you have, and you were a secondary away last year, then by proximity, by virtue, you should be expecting this team to be competing for a Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, no one would disagree that this team was a cornerback away from winning or getting to the Super Bowl last year. But also now this team is without Aiden Hutchinson and Ali McNeil, who they had on that team last year. So
that's fair. Yeah,
it kind of balances out. But I still think the defense is improved from what it was last year going into the defense. I think, or going into the playoffs. I think Amik Robertson is going to step up and have a great game and have a great playoff run. But the biggest thing and the positive, David Montgomery being back. I said it in the intro. That sets the tone in these playoff games, in these home games. You got David Montgomery, who's going to come out there for the first drive, and he's going to punch you in the mouth, and they're going to methodically move the ball down the field. You enforce your will on teams when you have David Montgomery going in that first drive. Obviously, Jahymr Gibbs has been fantastic since he has had to take over that number one running back role. He has been fantastic all season, and Craig Reynolds did a good job in filling in when he needed to, especially in the last game against the Vikings. He looked great. But having David Montgomery back means a lot for the pace of this team, a lot for the thoughts that these guys are feeling. He's a big locker room guy. He's extremely important. He sets the tone, being that physical guy in that first drive to punch you in the mouth and move the ball down the field.
Along with setting the tone, I think a big thing is it keeps our defense off of the field.
Yeah.
They can't score if they don't have the ball. So, yeah, like you said, the first drives have been so impressive when you do have D-Mont because it takes up 7 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
You don't have to rely on your defense. And we've talked so much about this new defense and how Aaron Glenn has had to reshape it and bring pressure in situations to try to force turnovers. If you're not on the field, you're going to be just fine because David Montgomery eats the clock without a doubt. So I'm feeling really confident, like Chris said, with this offense moving forward, nobody's going to be able to stop them. They got everybody back, and hopefully Zeitler is ready to go as well.
And G-Man DT in the Woodward Sports chat says, TA looks to come back. Good news. Thought it was a high ankle sprain, but nope. Yeah, and he's a kid, man. He's a young guy. We saw the same thing with Sam Laporta last year when he took a shot to the knee, and people were like, ooh, that didn't look good. He bounced right back. He played the rest of the game. Even Matt Stafford said, if I took that hit to the knee, I would have been done for the year. But it's these young bones, these young joints, and Terrion Arnold avoided anything serious. The x-rays were negative, and they labeled it a foot contusion. So that's the best case scenario for that. Chase, how do you feel about these injury newses?
I mean, not surprising to hear Dan Campbell come to the podium and talk the way he does. Very much just a lot of coach speak.
Yeah.
He's not gonna show his hand in any way to the fans or to any other teams. So David Montgomery is going to be huge. Like you said, we have Jahymr Gibbs. He's been playing fantastic. But I mean, can you ever have too many great running backs in the NFL? I don't think so. They complement each other very well with their skill sets. So I mean, hopefully we can get a little bit more help on the defense, whether that be Hutch, whether that be Derek Barnes, possibly, any little help we can get, possibly coming back, I'm all for.
Yeah, and I think having these guys in the playoffs, that 1-2 punch of Montgomery and Gibbs, like you said, Nick, to eat clock, to just methodically move the ball, and David Montgomery being back for those short, that 4th and 2 or that 4th and 1 where they threw the ball to Jamo and it got tipped at the line. You give that to David Montgomery instead, and he's going to pick it up for you.
Exactly, and we talked a lot about Gibbs yesterday, but we also mentioned maybe the return of Monty, and this is the best running back room in the NFL.
Yeah.
And they set the tone for this Detroit Lions team. When we've had so much success, it's because we're able to run the ball, dominate the line of scrimmage, and hit the big plays and play action. You see St. Brown getting open. You see Sam Laporta getting up the seam in those play action spots. When they're expecting him to block, he sneaks out, goes right up the middle. You see Jahymr coming on some crossing patterns. It opens everything up for this Detroit Lions offense to be successful and to be the best offense within the NFL.
I agree, and we're going to get into more of Dan Campbell's comments coming up. He had some things to say about the fans in that last game at Ford Field, but first, tell us about Feldman, Nick.
Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. Catch Woodward Sports Network live from Feldman Chevrolet of Novi every other Monday. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
On game days, make sure you wake up with Woodward and Maine with insights from Detroit sports media legend Terry Foster and rising star Matt Broder. And after that, make sure you check out the New Holland Brewing Company Lions pregame show with Neil Rule and Sean Belegian for the home games. And you know that's all we have left. Live at Second Best Bar in Detroit. Make sure you guys come join the party. Check it out.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on Woodward Sports. Make sure you smash that like button. For Nick, for Chase, for Chris, I am Spencer. We are the Heavyweights. We just got done breaking down Dan Campbell's clip from his press conference today that the Detroit Lions host on YouTube, and he was talking about the injuries. He said Montgomery, he expects to be back for the next game. Terrion Arnold and Kevin Zeitler, he is positive about, and they're a lot better than he expected. Pat O'Connor, worse than they expected. And then he said CD3 and Barnes done for the year. Still left the door open for Aiden Hutchinson. But it was about a 15-minute, 20-minute press conference, and Dan Campbell spoke about a lot of things. He's obviously extremely glowing about Aaron Glenn, Ben Johnson, even Dave Phipp. He said if these guys are getting interviews for head coaches, Dave Phipp should too. He should be a head coaching candidate. So Lions got demand at all their coordinator positions. But he also spoke about the Detroit Lions fans and what they were like that Sunday night football game against the Vikings, and here's what he had to say.
With our fans, you know, that was a great environment. We knew it would be, but it was electric in there, and it, you know, our fans, they play a factor in that. They played a factor the other day, and it's hard to communicate, and it's, you know, you can feel it in there, and we appreciate it. And I do believe it really is an advantage. It's a home field advantage, and not everybody gets it, and we do. And I'm glad we earned that. So fired up for us, fired up for the fans.
You hear it there, and that's your head coach acknowledging you guys for doing this. And even though some of the diehards got priced out, Ford Field was still rocking. Ford Field was still loud. And this is why there was such an emphasis on getting that number 1 seed in the NFC. Not only the bye to get healthy and to get some guys back, but to have that home field advantage throughout the playoffs, because we truly are the 12th man. The Detroit Lions fan base truly is the 12th man. We saw that cause what should have been multiple, and I'm talking multiple, delay of game penalties against the Vikings. It caused some false starts. It caused some snap issues with Sam Darnold, and it's even going to be crazier in the playoffs. So salute to Lions fans. Salute to everybody that gets Ford Field rocking. That's your head coach. That's your leader. That's Dan Campbell saying, you guys make a difference. You guys truly made a difference, and we need you to keep doing that. Nick, you were there. You were a part of that 12th man. You're a part of that home field advantage. What can you say about it?
Yeah, it's truly hard to put into words, but I'll say what Dan Campbell said. It's electric in there. It feels like an out-of-body experience when you're in there being a part of it. We talked about Alex Anzalone getting introduced, and it felt out-of-worldly, and it's just so exciting to see everything come together that this whole entire fan base has been starving for so many years. And we finally have it now. And yes, ticket prices are through the roof. And a lot of people did get priced out. But a lot of people that still have these tickets, they're making some sacrifices in some other ways because they know how special this Detroit Lions run is.
Yeah.
And I want to go back to after the first home playoff game last season. In the offseason, Matt Stafford and Sean McVay said, on Pardon My Take, this was the loudest environment that they have ever played in.
Yep.
They have gone on Super Bowl runs, Spencer. Detroit Lions and Ford Field is the best environment in all of football, hands down. I'm especially grateful to be a part of it, without a doubt, and it's going to be a very tough place for any of the quarterbacks that want to come in here to play. And you saw it come up against the Vikings on Sunday night.
Yeah, it's consistent. Every home game we have, it seems like there's a delay of game, there's a false start, there's things. Those are specifically attributed to the fans and to the 12th man. Chris, do you believe in that? Do you believe in the 12th man and this home field advantage for the Lions?
Can you not? You point to the results. The results are there. So to me, this is huge, and that is why it was equally as important to get not only the bye, but to get that home field advantage, to get all roads leading through Detroit. Because if you think about it too, what does this Lions team like to do? They like to, at home, get the ball first, score, and then you're playing on your heels the entire game. You are out of your element the entire game with that loud crowd plus this electric offense. That is a formula that can withstand a lot of holes in this defense that we've acknowledged are there due to the injuries of this roster. So this was huge to me, and I feel completely confident, completely restored in my faith of this team making it out the NFC, representing the NFC in the Super Bowl. This is huge. This is a big deal, and it's real.
And Justin Station in the Woodward Sports chat says, need a Red Wings parlay. Who's due for some goals tonight? We have a Red Wings topic. We're going to talk about that coming up later. We even got a Tigers topic for you guys. It's a White Boy Tuesday here on Woodward Heavyweights. So, Nick, you were going to say something else?
Yeah, just on this, on the game, it's like obviously everybody speaks about the defense, but you also see our offense with them on defense still not comfortable because they are in a different environment. And you think about the 4th and 2 when everybody in the world knew that we were going to kick a field goal.
Yeah.
But we go up there pretending to go for it on 4th down. And they're still they're not comfortable when even the Vikings were on defense. And obviously it's not the crowd getting loud for when our offense is at work, but them being on their toes still because they're in this kind of environment, I think makes all the difference in the world, and a huge reason why veteran Harrison Smith even was jumping off sides.
Yeah, that's true. Chase, you're a very analytical man. You're a facts-driven guy. Do you agree with the home field advantage stuff?
Yeah, I think it definitely plays a part. I mean, you're comfortable in your home environment. The fans definitely play a factor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you hear it across all sports. You know, playing in front of the home crowd not only gives, you know, your team the juice. You know, you got all the people who, you know, just give their blood, sweat, and tears. They pay, you know, their hard-earned money to come see, you know, you play. And, you know, you also have them as someone else, just like chirping, trying to get in the heads of, whoever's on the field, on the court, whoever you're playing. I definitely think it plays a factor 100%. And then in Ford Field, it's a dome, it's an indoor stadium. So
that noise ain't going anywhere.
Exactly. I think in an outdoor stadium, like Seattle is called the 12th man. I mean, they're outdoors though. I feel like you lose a little bit of that sound. Like, I think Ford Field just amplifies that, gives us a little bit more of an edge.
Yeah, and you better believe that in this next matchup in Ford Field, Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, the coordinators, they're going to make a point to tell the refs, hey, listen, motherfuckers, when that clock hits 0, you throw that flag and it's a delayed game, because they were a couple big plays given up after those because Anzalone's jumping up and down like, what the fuck are we doing? And so I would extremely, or I would definitely assume that Dan Campbell, like I said, they're going to go up to those refs and be like, all right, you guys better call these because it's going to happen. So, and another thing real quick, Nick, that Chase said that popped into my mind is the staying at home factor, is that you don't have to take that 6-hour plane trip to LA to go play the Rams. You don't have to take that 2-hour plane trip to Tampa to go play the Bucks. You are staying at home, sleeping in your own bed with your family, get some home cooking, and you're going to wake up and feel better. So you don't have to worry about, like, what was it, Philly didn't feed whatever team was playing the Phillies, and shops were refusing to feed whoever was playing the Phillies in the World Series. Like, that's what I want to see out of you, Detroit businesses. That's what I need to see out of you. Like, if you got whoever comes to Ford Field and they're like, hey, we need you guys to cater our team bus. Nah, sorry, click. Like, that's how serious this is gonna be, and I love it, man. All roads truly come through Detroit.
Yeah, you get the fire alarm syndrome, middle of the night hotel.
Yeah.
Something like that. Who knows what happens there? But when it comes to this delay of game, I think it's the craziest thing in the world. You give this up to the ref to have
judgment call.
A judgment call on it? This should be like basketball when it comes down to a shot clock. There should literally be something should happen, because to give the refs more space to mess up in the game, I think is horrible for the game. It's so simple. The clock hits 0, you're done. Like, that's how it should be. And it feels like it's year after year of this inside of Ford Field specifically, because we have been so loud. And obviously you see a lot of delay of games and false starts for opposing teams that come in here. So I'm really looking forward to whoever we do play. And I know we got around the league later. We'll get into some of those potential matchups and whatnot. But, yeah, I'm excited. This is fun. And shout out to the home field. Real quick, last thing on the home field advantage. Everybody did a better job against the Vikings than earlier in the year when it comes to getting loud while they're in the huddle.
Yeah.
That has to be a solid point that everybody continues to do. Be loud when they're in the huddle, not breaking the huddle. You got to be able to get in their heads early, and that's what counts.
Yeah.
Shout out to fans. They're the best in the world.
And it wasn't just the missed calls on delay. How many times did they, reset the play clock? 4 times for the Vikings. It was like, we got to move the ball a little bit to the left, and then they just put it back where it was, reset the play clock to 25, it ticked down to 10, and then they reset it to 25 again. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
But, yeah, they're going to make a point. I guarantee Dan Campbell and his coaching staff will make a point to tell the refs. Like, I respect it. If it's at 0 and you just get it off, I can live with that, because it should be the refs looking at the play clock, and when it hits 0, then he looks at the ball, and then he makes the call. But it was like 2 seconds of 0 on the clock. Sam Darnold sitting there, no snap. So we'll see what happens going forward, but they're definitely going to make a point to that. We got more to talk about. Penei Sewell being disrespected. Again. By national media.
Horrible.
But before we get into that, let me tell you about Dr. Pierce. Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy and every Thursday during Ermanni and Edwards, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that DMAC trusts. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.
Super Bowl parade in Detroit will be one for the record books. Detroit just does it different. Woodward Sports, your official Super Bowl or Bust Lions network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi experts, Woodward Sports.
Make sure you guys check out the best bar in Detroit, and it's not close. They host the Lions pregame show, and we're gonna have 2 more before the big game. You guys know where it is. It's second best bar in Detroit, located at 42 Watson Street. Come join us for the ultimate fan experience. Only at second best bar in Detroit. Come get some.
Come get some. Second best, great spot.
Oh, the best.
Great spot. Dude, that patty melt,
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Chicken Sammy.
Chicken Sammy, fire. The wings, those jalapeno popper
dude.
wontons.
Potato wedges.
The potato wedges.
The wings were the wings got universal approval from my group when we all went out. I took a couple of boys out. We went to the Vikings. We went to second best for the Vikings game.
Yeah.
Everybody got the wings. Not glowing reviews.
Yeah, it is just great stuff at second best. And it's great stuff here on the Woodward Heavyweights, live on Woodward Sports. Make sure you smash that like button. Get your super chats in there if you want to get your comment read before anybody else's. There is a goal in there for super chats that would make me sing the Michigan fight song. And
make sure we hit it.
I might throw up in my mouth if I have to do that. But for Nick, for Chase, for Chris, I am Spencer. We are the Heavyweights. We're talking Lions. We're going to talk Pistons. We're going to talk Red Wings. We're even going to talk some Tigers today. But first, PFF, Nick.
Yup.
PFF is polarizing, I will say. Either you strongly believe in what PFF says, or you don't believe it at all, or you only use it when it fits your narrative. But I don't think there is a single narrative that anybody would care about that this from PFF would fit. And they gave their first team all pros on the offensive line. Shockingly, no Lions made this list.
Huh?
And shockingly, Zach Tom was over Penei Sewell and even Lane Johnson for all pro at that right tackle spot. Zach Tom of the Green Bay Packers, who has 3 times as many sacks allowed as Penei Sewell this season, who has more penalties than Penei Sewell this season, and has played 100 less snaps than Penei Sewell this season. So I don't know what kind of thought process or decision making goes into this, but this is just blatantly false and incorrect. I don't know, man. Maybe you're trying to be edgy. Maybe you're trying to get clicks. Maybe you're trying to get me riled up. And it fucking worked. Because I will not allow you to disrespect the tribal chief. I will not allow you to disrespect the heart and soul of the Detroit Lions, Penei Sewell. He is the best player in the NFL. He's the best right tackle in the NFL by far. And you're going to sit there and tell me he's not the best right tackle in his own division? Fuck off, nerds. Like, yeah, the PFF nerds, I'm over it now. That shit's embarrassing, dude. If it was Lane Johnson, I would argue it and I would still say it's wrong, but I would at least be able to stomach it. Because Lane Johnson's had a great season. Lane Johnson, historically, he's a Hall of Famer. Like, so if you said Lane Johnson there instead of Penei Sewell, you're still wrong, and I would still yell at you, but I wouldn't say you're a complete idiot. Having this guy over both of them, you're just stupid. You just don't know ball.
This is the worst take I've ever seen. And I mean, Zach Tom, you can never trust somebody with 2 first names here.
That is true.
And honestly, just the way Penei Sewell has played this season, all pro level, the best lineman in the league. You guys see him get off the ball. I love that they have the sights and sounds because you get to see a lot of Penei Sewell sometimes. And you get to hear the pop when he obliterates linebackers, when he takes a safety or a cornerback and just puts them in the dirt. And you know what? He's not just blocking. He's moving all over the line. He's getting involved. We got Penei Sewell doing trick plays right now.
Yep.
That's how much of a difference maker Penei Sewell is, not just for this year, But for the start of this whole entire thing, the Brad Holmes era started with drafting Penei Sewell. He has changed this culture so much. And I know PFF, big nerd grades, do whatever. In what world is Zach Tom graded higher or better or your first team All-Pro than Penei Sewell? This might be the worst list I've seen so far out of the national media. Yeah. And that's saying a lot because we were going at him pretty hard yesterday.
It's just ridiculous, man. It's terrible. And you know the stuff they make up, like these stats that they are judgment calls from these nerds, like pass rush win rate and potential sacks allowed and all these stupid shits that you don't see happen. You're just like, okay, but maybe if this happened, then he wouldn't have won this rep and he would have lost, so we're going to mark him down for it. It's ridiculous, man. There's one thing that PFF is good for, and that's pressures. And even that is kind of a judgment call based on, do you think you could get to the quarterback here or not? I'm done with it, man. I'm done with it. This just, you lose credibility for stuff like this. You really do.
Do you really want to put another chip on this team's shoulder?
Yeah.
I hope somebody shows this to Penei Sewell because I feel bad for the left end that's going to be lined up across from him in the divisional playoff game at Ford Field. Penei Sewell will be continuing to put people in the dirt. Guy doesn't need another chip on his shoulder. I don't think anybody in the world would say Zach Tom is a better tackle than Penei Sewell.
No.
So in what world are we ranking him higher right here, PFF? Shame on you, and I feel bad for the left end that's going to have to pay for it.
I can say this wholeheartedly. Peter Bukowski, noted Lions hater, noted Packers slappy.
Yeah.
Noted villain of Lions Twitter, he wouldn't say that Zach Tom is better than Penei Sewell. This is egregiously bad. And this, like the PFF narrative, the Pro Bowl politics, I don't give a fuck. Like, when Penei Sewell is given the first team All-Pro, which he will be, when Kirby Joseph is given the first team All-Pro, which he will be, when Amon-Ra St. Brown is given the first team All-Pro, which he will be, you guys at PFF, you voters for the Pro Bowl, and you idiot Mike Florio are going to sit there and you're going to eat crow. And you're going to say, oh, but I said this. Nobody gives a shit what you said. You can see with your eyes when you watch games or look at the stats that you have on your own website, like sacks allowed and penalties accumulated, that Penei Sewell is better than this guy. So just, fuck out of here, man. I'm sick of it.
I saw it on there, and we got it on the list as well. And this, obviously, Zach Tom plays for the Packers. I know we got some games coming up potentially. And do you see any team in the NFC potentially competing with these Detroit Lions?
Any team in the NFC?
Stopping the Lions.
Stopping with the Lions. I truly think the team. I don't think so. Yeah. I think the Lions will beat any team in the NFC and they will get to the Super Bowl for sure. The only team that I would say has the potential to do it is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Wow.
I would say out of any of the. I don't trust Philly because Jalen Hurts, I don't think he's a good quarterback. Nick Sirianni, I don't think he's a good head coach. Baker Mayfield is playing out of his fucking mind right now. He is a mobile guy. He thrives under pressure. He thrives in situations like that. Mike Evans, a damn good quarterback, or a damn good wide receiver. He's a top 10 wide receiver of all time, if you ask me. I think that's the only, and I don't think they would. Like, I'm not saying I'd take them. But if I had to pick one that I think would give the Lions the most problems, it would be Tampa Bay. And because you look at it, it was a fluke loss to Tampa Bay at home. We doubled them up in yards. We controlled that game. We had the ball way longer than they did, but they found a way to win somehow because the Lions had a couple turnovers. There was a couple bad calls by the refs, and it led to situations where the Bucs punched it in. I think with Baker Mayfield's play, that's what would give the Bucs a leg up over any other team in the NFC. Because the best teams in the NFC, the Lions, obviously.
Yep.
The Eagles, I already told you, I don't trust Nick Sirianni, and I don't trust Jalen Hurts. And I think we'll be able to limit Saquon Barkley, and then that would force them to have Jalen Hurts beat you. And I'll take our chances with that 10 times out of 10. We own the Packers. We own the Vikings. We own Matt Stafford. Who else am I supposed to be worried about? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the one of two teams that beat you this year, so that's the team that I would look at.
That surprised me, Svenny. I know JT Olson's fired up in the chat right now.
I mean,
well.
I like the Bucks.
I saw him in there. I mean, yeah, it definitely was a fluke game, and I thought the Lions in that Bucks game specifically just got out of their ways.
Yeah.
They were throwing the ball way too much when they did not need to, and I agree with you. I thought some of those calls in that game were absolutely atrocious. I thought it was disgusting. A lot of early hits from the Bucks, no calls.
Yeah.
A lot of, I thought on time plays from the Lions getting called left and right. But the big thing about the Bucs specifically, we talk about it all the time, but it's Baker's athletic ability to get out and pick up some big key first downs, especially when it comes to third downs. That does scare me a little bit, but honestly, not nearly as much as the Philadelphia Eagles.
I'm not worried about the Eagles.
Because they're undefeated when Hurts and A.J. Brown play. I know they have a lot of stuff going on within that locker room with Sirianni, with a guy like A.J. Brown specifically. If he's not getting the ball, who knows what he's going to be doing on the sidelines or what kind of stuff he's going to be talking to his best friend, Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, in Detroit?
Exactly. I mean, that's what I would say I would think is our strongest competition because they have the ability on defense.
Yeah.
They have an extremely good defense that can take the ball away. You got guys up the middle that can bring pressure like a Jalen Carter, and you got guys in the back end that can take the ball away. So that's what does give me just a little pause. I'm picking the Lions 100 times out of 100 in that game, but I think they would have the best shot to dethrone the Lions.
See, that's why I'm not worried because they have a talented team. They probably have a more talented roster than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when you go, 1 to 32. But I'm not worried about a defense. Our offense is better. As talented as their Philadelphia Eagles defense is, I fully trust our offense to go out there and put up 30 points plus on them. And I don't trust Jalen Hurts and that offense and Nick Sirianni to go bar for bar with the Lions offense. I trust Baker Mayfield more to do that. Like, again, that being said, if the Lions play the Buccaneers, I expect the Lions to win by double digits. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, they're going to lose to the Bucs. They're still going to beat the Bucs. But if I have to pick one team in the NFC, it would be the Bucs because Baker and Mike Evans and that offense would be able to put up points with the Lions. I don't know. I would trust Baker more to go bang for bang with the Lions offense than I would Jalen Hurts.
I think the experience is also there for the Eagles. They've been in these games last year. I mean, talk about chips on the shoulder. They got something.
So have the Bucs.
They got something to prove now. I mean,
Bucs won playoff games last year.
Bucs beat the Eagles last year.
Bucs beat the Eagles last year.
Last year was a dumpster fire, though.
Yeah,
That was maybe the biggest meltdown of a season. I think that's why the Eagles do have a chip on their shoulder. But I do like the Lions in that game. But just the thought of a healthy Jalen Hurts,
if he's
and
healthy,
Saquon,
he hasn't practiced yet. He's missed 2 weeks with a concussion. More on that around the league coming up. But first, this is what I wanted to lead the show off with. This was originally the first topic because they've earned it and we should talk about them, but obviously the Dan Campbell presser came out and all the news about the injury updates, so you got to go with that. But we're going to talk about Cade Cunningham and the Detroit Pistons having a gritty come-from-behind win, a game where they were down 20+, where they didn't have their A game. Malik Beasley couldn't hit water jumping out of a boat, but the Pistons took care of business and ended up winning on Chauncey Billups' night against the Trailblazers. Let's go to break. We'll come back. We're going to talk about that. But first, let me tell you about Lady Jane's. At Lady Jane's, we take the chore out of getting a haircut. Our talented stylist will deliver an industry-leading haircut, relaxing scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
The bad boys from the NFL are here. Your 2024 Detroit Lions are the hardest hitting, highest flying, trickiest playing, grittiest team in the NFL.
A dominant team.
Get all your coverage of your favorite team right here in your favorite network. Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
The live watch party and the post-game show only at Hayes Social every single week for Lions coverage. Make sure you tap in. Me and Easy on the watch party. And then, of course, as always, Stick and Anson on the post-game show. It's presented by New Holland Brewing Company, Sabbath Coffee Roasters, Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza, and 1800 Tequila. What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on Woodward Sports. Smash that like button, get your super chats in there. I am Spencer Raxter. He's Nicholas Kohloff. We got Chase Amley and Chris Platte in the booths. Shout out to Will Easy. Easy, I hope your tummy feel better.
Ebola.
Got Will tummy wumbles, so he can't come in second day. Whoa, easy. But we talked Lions. We talked Lions for an hour, and we're gonna have a lot to talk. But we got to stretch this out. We got 2 weeks without Lions football here.
Before we do, are you still buzzing from the win?
Oh, yeah.
I've been waking up just absolutely
feeling
extra
so
pep
good.
in the step.
That's why when I saw all that shit about the Vikings fans making up shit on Twitter today, I was just like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Go home, losers.
Go home.
Go have fun losing to our ex in Los Angeles.
Exactly.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
But something that did happen last night, something that I love talking about on Twitter, and something that I was extremely happy to see. The Detroit Pistons won their 4th game in a row. They got to 500 in January. This is an 18-18 team in January, and it is on the back of Cade Cunningham. This man, again, he scored 72 points his last 2 outings combined. He goes out there, puts up the 30 ball, has 9 assists, has 6 rebounds. He, I believe his plus minus, I don't know exactly, but
8.
He plus 8 on the night. He brings this team back from a 20-plus point deficit when the guy who has been, since Ivy went out, the second best player on your team, Malik Beasley, was having an off night.
Yep.
We know Malik Beasley, Cracker got an AR, he's shooting schools up. He is a gun for hire. He is a weapon, and he is a shooter. And he was 0 for 9 to start this game. He did hit the one that mattered the most, ended up going 1 for 10. Clutch shot by Malik Beasley, but without him going out there, Cade had to manufacture different ways to win. Tim Hardaway Jr. stepped up, filled that role as gun for hire.
Michigan man.
And you saw the makings of a good team, of a good franchise, of a competent organization, having multiple guys to step up. Malik Beasley's off tonight. We would have been crushed by that if we were the Pistons of the past couple of years. Your number 2 guy's off, that's it. It's just going to be a one-guy show. And this team not hanging their heads when they're down 20 to an inferior team at home. They go out there and they battle. The rookie getting some big defensive plays. Ron Holland, shout out to him. Asar Thompson making some big plays on the defensive end. Shout out to him. But they never flinched, even down 20. They ended up battling their way back and then going bucket for bucket with the Trailblazers to end up winning at the end. It was a great team win, and it really showed true grit and this team evolving as a good team in the league.
Yeah, this is the difference maker. We talk about what Dan Campbell did for the Detroit Lions and what he brought in and changing the culture. That is what JB Bickerstaff has done in 36 games as the Detroit Pistons head coach. Last season or the year before, they lose that game 100 times out of 100 times if they get down 20 early. They had no fight in them the last couple of years. This year, different story. You have a superstar leader in Cade Cunningham, and you have 3 key veteran pieces. I know one of them is extremely overpaid and it struggles at times, but his name's Tobias Harris. And then you got Tim Hardaway Jr. steps up on a night, like you said, when Malik Beasley's off. Couldn't miss a shot. Tim Hardaway Jr. came in clutch. And Cade Cunningham has just taken his game. We talk about all-star that man. He is a certified superstar in the NBA right now who is deserved of an all-pro nod this season. I truly believe that. All NBA, that is.
Yeah.
I think Cade Cunningham is turning into an absolute superstar, and the Pistons are so much fun to watch right now. Currently sitting as the 7th seed, folks. The 7th seed in the East is your Detroit Pistons in January. So, yeah, super
it's awesome.
fun.
It's awesome. You'd love it. And I think before we get to Chris on this, because I know he's going to want to rant about his Pistons, I look at this guy, 6 minutes, no points, no rebounds, no assists, no blocks, no steals, plus 12. B-Ball Paul.
Hey.
B-Ball Paul playing a big 6 minutes off the bench. Like, he went out there and he was setting screens. He was being a good defensive presence, not allowing easy buckets in the lane, and no stats on the stat sheet. But he was plus 12 in 6 minutes. So you love to hear that out of him. You love to see that out of these guys. I am just extremely happy for this Pistons team. And you're right, Nick. Like, I've been saying it for a couple weeks now, and now people are coming around. Cade Cunningham, All-Star, that's a no doubt. That's a lock. It's all NBA now. And Chris, how did you feel about that game?
I mean, it was poetic justice. I mean, you talk about last year, the Portland Trailblazers being the game that undid it all. They had the big lead. They blew the lead to an inferior team at that time, and then ended up starting the historic losing streak. So, for me, this was a big win. Like you said, they're also a couple games out of 4th seed. They're, I believe, 3 games back from Orlando, the 4th seed. They are 3 games back from hosting a playoff series. That is how much of a transformation they have had this coming season. So shout out to Cade. And there's been a lot of key pieces. You know, Ron Howland, you talked about it. His defense, when they were down big, his defense, his energy that he brought in. Now, he did pick up 3 fouls right away, but that energy he brought absolutely catapulted it with Paul Reed as well. So this was a great game. And how about another guy who I've been critical of who had a good game too? Tech. Fontecchio, I still don't want you dribbling, but man, when you shoot that ball and you make some shots, that is huge. Yeah. That is a big deal for his team. And Noah Sarr for this game too. So to have your best defensive presence out of the game, and to still be able to muster up a defensive run like they had, I think was absolutely phenomenal. So this was a great game. This was a great game for the Pistons, and this is showing that this is a team that can win in more than one way. And that's what you need to do in an 82-game win season. You can't just win one way. You 100%. Have to be able to be adaptable, to be malleable, and that's what this Piston team is proving to be.
Got a couple ridiculous numbers for you, Chris. Great point there. Pistons 18-18 for the first time in January since 2019.
Yeah.
That's how bad we've been.
Is that the Blake Griffin year?
Yeah, Blake Griffin. And it is also the first time winning 4 in a row since March 2019 per Pistons Twitter. Detroit basketball is back, baby, courtesy of Cade Cunningham.
It
Seven
really
of
is,
their
man.
last 8, man. 7 of their last 8. This is a damn good team. This is not just a story. This is not just a cute story. This is not just January, middle of the year. Nobody cares. This is a team that's actually doing something. And this is after losing their second best player, Jay Ivey, who was very crucial to this team. So this is just, again, this is all hats off to JB Bickerstaff, having these guys, you know, just be in positions to succeed. And you know what? Shout out Durant. He's still got a ways to go, but after this game, he shouted out JB Bickerstaff, and that's what I like. I like to hear him not, you know, refraining from giving JB praise, because that would show that, man, this coach I'm on his bad side. And I'm out. But he's giving JB the confidence, or he's giving JB the praise. So I hope that means that relationship is working, because I believe JB could turn Jalen Duren into a defensive anchor if he wants to be.
He has to want that. That's what it is. He has to want to be.
He has to want it.
Defenses want, defenses instincts, and it's hustle, and he does not show that. He at least he got the double-double. He had a big tip-in after Cade Cunningham missed the shot late, and that was huge. So at least he's rebounding, and he's attacking the basket. That's a good step for him, but his defense is still abysmal, and I need Jalen Duren to step. Like, I'm not asking you to be Rudy Gobert. I'm asking you to contend shots. I'm asking you to be around the rim and be in help defense. But another point that you made, Chris, like, This game proved that this isn't a fake little run that the Pistons are on, that this is a well-coached, deep team. Like you said, they lose their second-best player for probably the season with Jaden Ivey gone. They don't have their second-best player now having any kind of performance in Malik Beasley, 0 for 9. They don't have their best defender, Inasar Thompson, out there. So who steps up? Ron Holland, the rookie, plays great defense, makes a lot of plays, get in transition, dunks. That was amazing. And then you have Tim Hardaway Jr., another shooter, another veteran step up. So this is a deep team. This is a talented team, and we have basketball players on it now. We don't have these G League guys. We don't have 7 guys like Marvin Bagley and James Wiseman and these guys that aren't going to do anything. You've got basketball players, NBA basketball players on this team that are willing, able, and step up when needed, when other guys aren't. When Asar Thompson's out, when Ivy goes down injured, when Malik Beasley is having an off night. JB Bickerstaff has this team well coached. Trajan Langdon has produced a deep team full of basketball players. And that's all we've really asked for.
And that's what I want to highlight, too, is that Chauncey said it after the game. Trajan Langdon knows what he's doing, and he knew that the second they drafted Ron Holland. Remember, Portland was just a couple picks behind us.
Yeah.
So Chauncey said he knows what this team is doing. And just to let you know that Trajan knows what he's doing, this is last year's rotation in the game that started the losing streak against Portland. Isaiah Stewart, Asar Thompson, Marvin Bagley, Cade Cunningham, Killian Hayes, Marcus Sasser, Jaden Ivey, Joe Harris, Stanley, I forget how to say his name, Amudye, and James Wiseman.
Yeah.
That is a terrible non-NBA rotation.
Yeah.
Now you look at what
guys that
they
aren't
did.
on rosters.
Yeah. 4 of those guys are not. Wait, let me count that. 4 of those guys are not on an NBA roster, and 5 of them, and the 5th one doesn't even play, Marvin Bagley.
Yeah.
So what a transformation by Trajan Langdon in just one season.
I think just the fact of bringing in veteran players to help out Cade Cunningham specifically, guys that can space the floor. You see him and his growth this season through 36 games. We've seen him in the past look like a star at times. He is night in and night out playing like a top 20 player in the NBA.
He's a top 15 player in the NBA.
I mean, I was just didn't want anyone attacking me saying if I said top 10. I almost said
I wouldn't be mad at you if you said top 10.
I'm almost there with it. That's how good Cade Cunningham is. And you finally see him with space. If he gets his back to the basket with a guy that's smaller than him, he's scoring the rock. And he is starting, not as much as I still want to, starting to get a couple more calls.
I saw a lot of people on Pistons Twitter. One of the accounts is Cade Cunningham's attorney. I believe the other account was Jack Kelly, talking about people
Same thing.
Talking about people hating on the NBA, hating on the way the basketball is played now, where it's foul baiting and jacking up threes. Go watch Cade Cunningham play basketball.
Yeah.
Because he is a true 3-level scorer in the NBA. He can pull up from deep. He can get you in the mid-range. He can use his handle to get to the basket and finish around the rim with a variety of post moves and finishing moves. Like, this guy is truly an elite 3-level scorer in the NBA, and he plays damn good defense. Like, he is a top 15 player in the league right now. Right now. If you ended the season right now, Cade Cunningham would be top 10 in MVP voting, maybe top 5 in MVP voting if you ended the season right now, based on what he provides for this team. The guy is electric.
And I also want to say, you're hearing the same amount from all the Cade haters as you did from Minnesota Vikings fans going into this one, fellas. Yep. Where you at? I don't hear you anymore.
Where they at? No.
Absolute superstar, Cade Cunningham. That's the guy that you guys wanted to kick out of town because he wasn't healthy, even though we were tanking and specifically not playing him at times.
I'm telling you, man, we are a Jalen Duren defensive performance away from a 4 seed. Like that, if he just unlocks that at some point this season, this team is hosting the playoffs.
Where are your guys' expectations moving forward? Like, do you think this team has the potential to win a series?
I said it on BDE today. They're obviously going to the playoffs. They're going to win a couple playoff games.
Yeah.
That finals, the Pistons' first series in the playoffs is going to go down to Game 6 or Game 7. I obviously have to see who they get, but if they get one of those teams at 8, 9, 10, I would believe in them to win a playoff series. But if they're going up against the Celtics or the Cavs or the Knicks, they're going to win at least a playoff game. I know that's not saying a lot, but we haven't won a playoff game in 20 years almost. Like, so I think they're going to win a playoff game. I could see their first series, depending on who it is, going to 6 or 7.
Absolutely. Cade Cunningham is not getting swept.
No.
Not this Cade Cunningham. I don't believe in it.
Especially not with his own shoes now.
Yeah, especially now with his own shoes. Chase, final word on this. How you feel about Cade and the Pistons?
Oh, fantastic. I mean, he's everything we all wanted him to be. He's turning out to be, I don't know, even better than we expected. Obviously, the injury to Ivy sucks, but he's still stepping up and performing at a high level. He's, increased his numbers across the board and everything that matters, and, lowered the number that, he's also lowered the number that matters the most, too, in his turnover.
Yeah,
so very effective.
For sure.
I think it was Anson earlier who said that, inside of 10 feet, he's unguardable and he's shooting 40% from beyond the arc. So it's like, how can you defend this man right now? And yeah, no doubt, top 10 in the NBA.
Yeah, he's like I said, he's truly an elite 3-level scorer. He is one of the best playmakers in the NBA. Like, he's second or third in assists in the league, and his off the dribble shooting has been so impressive this year. The man is pulling up off the dribble comfortably, confidently. Healthy legs, Cade, man. The guy's a superstar, and I love it. And he's just such a good guy. Like such a good, humble dude. Everybody he chills with is great. All the Cunninghams are great. Everybody that I've met, at least. Shout out to Cannon. Shout out to Ashton. They're just great people, and they love the city of Detroit. And they're really showing it.
I'm so happy for Cade Cunningham. I know we have to go to break, but for him to look happy playing the game of basketball again, like it looks like they're truly having fun out there, which obviously winning's a lot more fun than losing, but Cade Cunningham being the key reason why they're winning and having a ball doing it and then playing for each other, it's so great to watch.
I know it's probably going to be, what's his name in Cleveland?
Coach Mitchell?
No, Coach of the Year.
Coach.
Oh, Kenny Atkins.
Kenny Atkins. Or it's going to be...
Rockets?
No, Thunder. I can't remember his name either. But
Diagonal.
JB Bickerstaff, if he is less than third in NBA Coach of the Year voting, you're wrong. Like what he's
Storm the
done.
Capitol.
And where are you at, Stephen A? Where are you at, Stephen A. Smith? I saw the clip coming out about you saying Monty Williams was glad to get out of Detroit. It was something he regretted going into that terrible situation in Detroit. It was so awful, and he's definitely going to have opportunities going further down. That's what you said, Stephen A. Smith, about Monty Williams. Monty Williams was a terrorist. JB Bickerstaff is a good coach. JB Bickerstaff is showing what a good coach can do with this roster.
Biggest heist in the history of the NBA. Monty Williams stealing all that money from
Detroit.
Shout out
to Trajan Longdon for coming in here and turning this around, putting the right people, Trajan Langdon, in situations to have success, bringing in veterans that are going to make a difference. Because I saw it in the chat too. Tobias Harris, although we still need more out of him to play up to a $26 million salary, he has stepped up with Jaden Ivey gone.
Yep.
We're going to go to break. We're going to come back. We're going to do it around the league. And then Red Wings. But first, tell us about 1800.
1800 Tequila is the smoothest tequila in the game, and they are now proud partners of the Detroit Lions and Woodward Sports as they team up for Woodward Sports Lions watch parties live at Hay Social. So make sure if you are in the area of Shelby Township, Michigan, you check it out. If you are not able to, then please pull up the stream on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. And also, when you're out there, make sure to get one of the 1800 Tequila Lions made bottle, custom made bottle, special bottle for a special season. When you are drinking the best tasting tequila in the game, please drink it responsibly.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The countdown to kickoff is here. Your Detroit Lions are ready for another season of grit. Woodward Sports is your #1 destination for all breaking news and Lions coverage. We are Detroit's #1 sports network. We are Woodward Sports.
Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza is a limited time offer continuing throughout the football season. Soroki's is debuting their fresh signature flavored wings this football season. Grab your friends, order a New York style pizza, add fresh wings for the games this weekend. Try one of their 7 different flavors. www.sorokis.com.
Soroki's. This is a fire beat. This got to be a Choff beat. Shout out to Choff.
I might spit a freestyle here.
What up, though, everybody? Make sure you smash that like button. Appreciate you for tapping in. Subscribe to Woodward Sports. Send your super chats in the chat. Appreciate everybody in there. David Witt, Keys to Wisdom, Aaron to the Stone, Mama Jan, Skull God in the chat. Welcome back, Passat.
Take that, L.
Tom Izzo, always good to see you in there, Coach.
Shout out, Tom.
Shout out, L. Shout out, Benjamin Foe, Steve-O Baby, Skydog. All the regulars, all the usual suspects in there. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Easy's got Will Tummy Wumble, so he's not here. Nick, second day on the desk.
Ebola.
Chase filling in last minute. Appreciate that.
Shout
Chris,
out, Chase.
as always, in the TD booth, and I am Spencer Raxter. Let's talk about the other Detroit team that has a head coach come in here and change the culture. The other Detroit team that's won 4 games in a row and just beat the best team in the National Hockey League, and that's the Detroit Red Wings, man. The Todd father has come into Detroit and has truly made these guys play some fucking hockey. That's what he told them in their first practice. Go play fucking hockey. You've been doing it your whole careers. Why aren't you now? He has demanded respect from these veterans like a Patrick Kane, like a Ben Sherratt, like an Alex Kopp, like these guys that you need to go out there and win games because you need the secondary scoring. You need the guys that are going to be contributors throughout the lineup. And they have. They've answered it. They played like new men. Seeing Veleno on that first line with Raymond and Larkin to give them some grit, to give them a guy that's going to go back check. He's going to attack pucks in the corner and get it out to guys like Raymond who can just put it on the net. The level of shots they've been putting at the net, they're up an insane amount of shots since when Lalonde left to since Todd McClellan has taken over. Like I said, they won 4 games in a row for the first time this season. They're looking to make it 5 in Ottawa, which you said yesterday, that's a little bit of a rivalry. It's a little bit of a brewing rival. Oh, sorry, yeah, it's in Detroit against Ottawa and in LCA. And I agree with you. It is a little bit of a rivalry. You're right there at the same level as the Senators. So this is a big game going forward. Nick, how do you see them getting it done?
I think about a couple years ago, honestly it might have been last year, but I was at the game when Dylan Larkin got drilled in the back of the head. It's the scariest thing I've ever seen at a live game. It was Dylan Larkin down, our captain, and it was scary. And guess who was against? The Ottawa Senators. This game is about revenge. They are a rival at this point. They always play the Wings extremely physical. I want to see some big hits out of a guy like Mo Sider tonight. I want to see some big hits like Sherratt laying the body, and I want to see our superstars get involved, specifically our top 2 guys on offense, Dylan Larkin and Lucas Raymond. Your key players need to show up when you're going up against a team that is similar to you in the standings. Need to see it from the stars. And Lucas Raymond, I mean, what more can you say about the guy? 41 points, 39 games, taking that next step like me and you thought that he would. It's been great to see from Lucas Raymond. So got to see them score on the power play at a good rate.
Need to score on the power play. They've been a lot better on the power play. They've been a lot better on the penalty kill. Noticeably better. And it's because they're getting pucks at the net. I don't know what Lalonde was telling them, but they have put up so many more shots since Todd McClellan has taken over. You're putting big bodies like Rasmussen, like Veleno, like Casper in front of the net, screen the goalie, and allow your guys to get some tips. Allow your guys to make some things happen. Jonathan Berggren has scored a couple breakaway goals. I love the kid. I don't know why he ever gets sent back down, because every time he's in the NHL, he scores fucking goals. Dylan Larkin, 3 games with a goal. They're just fun to watch. And I know I've said it before. I know it's all anybody's been saying, but it really boils down to them simply just playing fucking hockey.
Yeah.
They're going out there, they're playing hard, they're aggressive in the zone, they're fighting for pucks, they're getting in front of the net, and they're making things happen. And that's all you could ask for them. Tom McClellan, like I said, did a great job switching up the lines, putting guys on there to give good balance on the ice. You switched up Mo Seider and Simon Edvinsson, so you're always going to have one good defensive player on the ice at a time. You get Lyon back. He's been playing well. Lyon will be in goal tonight against the Senators. And it's good to see this team performing how we expected them to. Because you could say how old they are, and they are very old. They got a lot of placeholders in there for the kids to be coming up next year. But they shouldn't have been playing as bad as they were under Lalonde. Stevie even said it in his press conference when he announced Lalonde being fired. He was like, I expected them to play better. I know this team can play better, and we're seeing it under the Todd Father.
Yeah, I mean, I got to say straight up, I was not familiar with your game. Sorry, Todd Father. I really was not. I didn't know how big of an impact firing your head coach mid-season and getting the right guy in could have on a team. And this is the team that looked like last year when they went on an 8-game win streak. Yeah. This looks like that team right now, and it's so great to see. And shout out Newsy for, honestly, not shout out. No. Honestly, great guy to have a beer with. Which
Seems
I
like
have
a nice
had
guy.
A beer with him, but not the type of guy that you want coaching your team. Did this guy ever put people out in practice?
No.
Newsy, you hear the reports come out about us not practicing?
Newsy is a guy that should be trying to steal the moon, and not a guy that should be coaching hockey teams.
Can he let us borrow a minion?
And can we borrow a minion? Can Kevin come play? No. I'm so fucking happy that the Red Wings are actually watchable.
Yes.
Like, they were an unwatchable product with Derek Lalonde at the helm. And now they've got these guys playing. Like, the veterans, these guys, they're not going to listen to Newsy. Like, unfortunately, that's what it comes down to. They're not going to listen to him if he tells them, hey, what you've been doing your whole life, I need you to buy into something different. I need you to buy into my system because I know what I'm doing and I know it's going to work. They're not buying into that. They know how to play hockey. They know how to win in the NHL. So you bring in a guy that knows how to win in the NHL, knows how to play hockey. And Tom McClellan, 16 years as an NHL head coach, has a lot of success wherever he's gone, whether it be San Jose or Edmonton. He is a guy that they're going to respect. He is a guy that they're going to listen to. And if he tells them, hey, this is what I need you to do if you want to win hockey games, they're going to go do it.
Yeah, great hire by Stevie to get the right guy in here, and these players are responding. Chase, you got any thoughts on how the Wings have been playing?
I mean, it's a breath of fresh air. It's completely revitalized, this season for not only the team but the fans. I mean, I'm amped. I had a couple of games circled to go to this season, and I mean, regardless of how they were going to play, I was going to try to make it out. But now, I'm just trying to get tickets quicker now that before the prices go up, because this team is going to be must-watch hockey come February, come March, come April, and we're going to be playing in May as well. I'd really believe that.
Exactly. Love to hear it.
You got any plays tonight that you're looking at? I remember somebody saying they want a Red Wings parlay.
My buddy's been throwing out locks. He's 8 for 10. He's hitting 80%. He gave out D-Lark to get a point, but it's minus 160. So, take it if you want it, but it's minus 160, so the odds aren't,
I like Dylan Larkin
crazy
to get a point. I like Dylan Larkin 3+ shots in this game. Dylan Larkin has had 5 or more shots in his past 2 games. He has been getting the puck to the net. They've been playing well on the power play, so I like that a lot. And I like Mo Seider to get a point in this one as well.
All right.
I think Mo Seider gets an apple on one of the. He's been doing a lot of stretch passes. They've had a lot of breakaways. He's obviously doing a lot on the power play as well. So give me Mo Seider to get a point. Give me Larkin to get a point, and Larkin over shots. And then if I'm going to go anytime goal in this one,
I saw somebody say DeBrincat revenge game. I did forget that he was a senator for a little.
I'll go with Cat. Give me Cat.
All right.
Give me the Cat anytime goal.
Let's rock.
But the one I would lock in would be Larkin point, Larkin 3.5 over shots. And that's what I think. Those two, that would get you probably in the plus money. It would probably get you to plus 175, something like that. But maybe plus 200. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all. Hopefully, I don't care who gets the points, to be quite honest. Let's win this game.
I think it's going to be I think it's going to be a 4-2 game. I think the Red Wings win 4-2.
We need it.
I think they're up 3-2 Last couple minutes, they get the shorty at the end of it, and they end up winning 4-2.
Yeah, keep the momentum going. I mean, Detroit sports are absolutely roaring right now. We talked about the Pistons.
They're all feeding off each other.
We talked about the Red Wings, and we're going to go around the NFL coming up.
But first, let me tell you about Caesar Sportsbook. Caesar Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. If your first bet doesn't hit, you can get it back in bonus bets up to $1,000 by scanning that QR code and using code word Woodward1000. Again, your first bet will be risk-free. You can get it back in bonus bets if it doesn't hit up to $1,000. Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward Sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
New Holland Brewing Company and Taller Long Drink, they are delicious. Like, it is a gin-based cocktail made with real grapefruit puree. It's just a good drink. If you want the best canned cocktail possible and to support local companies, it's Michigan made. So go enjoy Taller Long Drink. You can find it at a Total Wine near you. Taller Long Drink and New Holland Brewing Company.
Phenomenal drink. Right?
Phenomenal drink. Phenomenal drink. We talked some Pistons. We talked some Red Wings. We talked a lot of Lions. We even got some Tigers on the schedule, but we're not going to do that just yet because I don't want to lose 200 viewers. Let's go around the league with Nick real quick and talk about these playoff matchups.
Let's go. Shout out the heavyweight huddle here. Chase, if you want to drop a little something.
Yeah, I got you.
All right, fellas. One of the biggest games in terms of the Lions coming up is keeping our eyes on the Vikings and the Rams. Stafford with the Super Bowl experience or Sam Darnold and his Cinderella story? Who has the early edge in this game for you guys?
Well, you know I'm all about edging. And I think the early edge in this game, I'm looking at the Los Angeles Rams. Like you said, they've got the Super Bowl pedigree with Stafford and with Sean McVay. They've got a good defensive line when it comes to getting pressure. The Lions kind of put it on a blueprint of how to rattle Sam Darnold, how to get after Sam Darnold and make him feel uncomfortable in the pocket. They've got a lot of good young pass rushers on that defensive line. And not to mention, I already talked about it, the Honolulu Blue Flu, that is a real thing. Plus, you're flying across the country to go to Los Angeles. So that's going to be a lot of wear and tear on this Vikings team. And when it comes down to it, if you're asking me who I want in the playoffs, who I'm going to pick to win in the playoffs between Stafford and Sam Darnold, I'm going Stafford.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think the Rams have the edge in this one. I think the Vikings are in complete shambles. And not just for this next game coming up against the Rams. I think they're in shambles for the offseason. Now they're doubting themselves. What do we do with Sam Darnold? Do we re-sign him after that big year? Or is this the real Sam Darnold? Who
Teams
just
are going to call trying to trade for Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah, like what is going on in Minnesota? I think the Lions broke them, and you're going to see that against an experienced head coach and Sean McVay going up against a guy like Kevin O'Connell. I got McVay in this one with Matt Stafford.
The Vikings lose to Detroit and then travel to Los Angeles and lose to the Rams. Where have I heard that before? It was earlier this season.
Yep.
So,
Damn, that's true. I didn't even, yeah. You're right, Chase.
I mean, look, will the real Slim Darnold please stand up? And he's not going to stand up. He'll be laying down because he will not be having a good performance in this game. I think that absolutely Matt Stafford with those weapons. And remember, they controversially benched their players last week. There was a lot of controversy at the Rams. You know, people were saying, oh, for seeding reasons, maybe you should have tried to win so that way you had a different matchup. But no, they determined that rest was more important. So this team is going to come in rested at home with a team, like you said, Honolulu flu and traveling West Coast. All of the factors point to the Rams. I still think this will be somewhat close. I think it'll either... I could see one of two worlds in which it's a complete blowout or it's completely close. I'm not sure which one. I'm really not like...
It's normally how football games go.
Yeah, like it's either going to be a lot of points or little points. Yeah. There's probably going to be a winning team and a losing team. No, but I don't know. I could talk myself into both scenarios. I could talk myself into Vikings kind of sneakily bouncing back but still losing, or I could see a world in which they ultimately just get blown up and season's over.
Yeah, one of these games, astute point, Chris. Like, well, either way, one of these teams is going to win this game.
I'm telling you, I'm fucking right. I
haven't considered one of these teams was going to win this game.
That's funny.
Comes down to it, they're not going to tie.
Great breakdown, Chris. All right, one of the biggest surprises of the year I thought was how Jaden Daniels played, and he is the lock for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Can they pull off an upset against the smoking hot Buccaneers?
Yeah, they can. Like as much as I said, as I was hyping up the Buccaneers,
yep.
You don't know what Buccaneers team you're going to get from week to week. They've looked really good at some points, and they've looked really bad in other points. I would not bet on it. I would take the Bucs in this one, but it's completely possible when you got a dynamic player like Jaden Daniels. You've got a very good head coach in Dan Quinn. His defense has been playing well, and you've got an elite receiver on the outside in Terry McLaurin. Yeah, do I think they're going to? No, I don't think Jaden Daniels will get that win as a rookie. Again, I think Baker Mayfield, he's playing out of his mind right now, man. And I don't think Baker Mayfield will allow Jaden Daniels to come into Tampa Bay and beat him in the playoffs. But that's going to be a fun game. That's going to be a high-scoring game. It's going to be fun to watch. We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised, but no, I would not call for it.
I think the X factor in Jaden Daniels is his legs. And I think having that in this kind of game can help you out against a guy like Todd Bowles in the Tampa Bay Bucks. I think I wouldn't be surprised, and depending on that, I might pick him.
You taking him?
I might. I feel good. I've liked the Commanders all year.
Want to do a pizza bet on it?
Not yet. We got a long way to go before the end of the week. We'll see how Easy's tummy feels better.
Yeah, we'll see about Easy's world tummy wumbles.
Yeah. Would you guys be surprised if the Commanders pull off the upset? Any of you guys?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but I wouldn't pick them to win. I'd still pick the Bucs in this game, and it comes down to running the football. I don't necessarily trust the rushing offense of the Commanders. Jaden Daniels, I would think, is their best weapon on the ground, but Bucky Irving has really emerged as a rookie this year. I think the Bucs have a little bit better of an offensive line, and I trust Mike Evans more than Terry McLaurin. Baker Mayfield has been there and done that in the playoffs before, so I'm just leaning on what I know and what I've seen before.
Yeah, I mean, look, this team could either win or lose. It's that simple. That's what it's going to come. That's what it's going to cut down to. No, I do think Washington will lose this game. And also, Nick, before I toss back to you, put some respect on Bo Nix.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. That's why when you said lock for
Skydog said that, but fellas.
Bo Nix has been impressive.
Bo Nix is rookie of the year. Hey, I'd like to see the odds on compare the weapons Bo Nix has versus Jaden Daniels.
I mean,
I like the Washington weapons a lot better.
Yeah, I wouldn't say Cortland Sutton's really good too. He's not Terry McLaurin, but he's really good. Yeah. But I think it's gonna be a tough.
And Ertz.
Yeah, I almost forgot about your Broncos. Sorry about that, Chris. All right, fellas.
Put some respect.
Jordan Love and the Packers go 1-5 in the NFC North. Are they the most overrated team that are in the playoffs?
Yes.
And is Jordan Love the most overrated quarterback?
In the playoffs? Yeah. I mean, no. Yeah. It's him or Sam Darnold. It's him or Sam Darnold, honestly. The Packers are definitely the most overrated team. They're dysfunctional. Matt LaFleur is pussy boy. I do not trust the Packers at all. I don't think the Packers are going to win a game. I think they're going to be one and done. Yes, Jordan Love is definitely overrated. Name me some other quarterbacks that you would put up there with him when you're talking about overrated ones.
Stroud had a really bad year. Russell
Stroud's
Wilson.
better. Russell Wilson's more overrated. Well, he's not even that highly rated.
I think Baker's rated well.
Baker's,
better. I think Daniels and the other rookie Knicks are rated well.
Yeah, because the only one that I'd say...
I think it is Jordan goddamn Love. The most overrated quarterback of all time.
The only two that I would say are on that... I think everybody else would be better. You look at Jaden Daniels, he's not overrated, he's a rookie. Bo Nix, he's not overrated, he's a rookie. Russell Wilson, I think, is properly rated. I think we know what Russell Wilson is now. And so it comes down to Sam Darnold and Jordan Love. And yeah, I would say Jordan Love is.
Yeah, Jordan
Trevor
Love.
Lawrence would like to enter the conversation.
Oh, he's not in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's not in the playoffs.
Yeah.
All right.
I just want the
real quick,
disrespect
fellas.
Yeah, Trevor's bum.
Can the Eagles get it done even if Jalen Hurts does not clear concussion protocol? He is still not out of it as of the start of this show.
They're playing the Packers, right?
Playing the Packers. And I'm going to say this. If Hurts plays, they win this game by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, they could beat the Packers with Kenny Pickett. I truly think they could. Would I bet on it? No, I wouldn't bet on it. That would be a pick'em game.
Do you think they'd still be favored?
I think it would be, yes. I think because they're at home.
Yeah.
But I think it would be like 2.5. Emma, what do you think? No, I'm just kidding. No, I wouldn't. What about you? And then we got to go to break and get.
Yeah, I do think the Eagles can get it done with their backup quarterback. Yeah, we got 3.
We got a couple more. We'll go around the rest of the league coming back. But first, tell us about Mark White.
Mark White gonna do you right. Dreaming of a new home but feeling a financial pinch? Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 for your closing costs.
$5,000?
That's right. I said $5,000. Call Mark White & Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
The Super Bowl parade in Detroit will be one for the record books. Detroit just does it different. Woodward Sports, your official Super Bowl or Bust Lions network.
Are you overdue for a new car? Beat the holiday rush and get an amazing deal from Les Stanford Chevrolet. Right now, a Blazer EV2LT with all-wheel drive is only $149 per month. Or check out the Equinox EV-LT for only $169 per month. Check out Les Stanford today or click the QR code on the screen and check out their massive inventory. Don't forget, Les Stanford has Cadillac, Buick, and GMC as well. Les Stanford in Dearborn and Ferndale, lesstanford.com. Hey, how the fuck are you? We're the Woodward Heavyweights live on Woodward Sports. Make sure you smash that like button. For Nick, for Chase, for Chris. I'm Spencer fucking Raxter. We got a couple more around the league questions for you. A little AFC edition. Give it to us, Nick.
All right, fellas, we got the Chargers at the Texans in this one.
The fucking Texans, huh?
And in this game, I got to ask, is anybody in the world taking the Texans after this disappointing
No,
year?
I'm not. I love the Texans, and I love what they... No, I'm not taking... The Chargers are going to beat them for sure.
how impressed, I mean, I'm not taking him either. That's why this question is written how it was. How impressed are you with Jim goddamn Harbaugh to turn the ship in the Chargers organization this quick? He's doing a lot with Justin Herbert like he did with J.J. McCarthy, and it's so impressive. And I think they're a dangerous team in the playoffs.
Yeah, no, he's running it like he's running Michigan. Like
For real.
They're running a lot of run plays. J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, whoever they got in there is just going out there, and they're attacking teams in the run game. They're playing great defense. Obviously, they have a loaded defense. Derwin James being healthy for the first season, I feel like in his entire career, is definitely a huge part of it. Bosa and Khalil Mack both staying healthy is a huge part of it, because we knew this Chargers defense for the past 5 years has had players. They've had guys. They've had names, but none of them could stay healthy. Now they are all healthy. They're playing extremely well. Justin Herbert looks revitalized under Jim Harbaugh, and they're just playing great football.
Yeah, I think that this team is so dangerous moving forward. And plus, Jim Harbaugh's been there before. They have the #1 defense in the league when it comes to points per game. And I think if you just control the ball, which Justin Herbert does, he doesn't turn the ball over right now, I think they're super dangerous. And, I mean, Zeke Elliott, watch out.
Look out.
He's a Charger.
Hey, I mean, I would not be surprised to see Zeke Elliott get like goal line touches.
In the end zone?
Yeah.
How impressive you guys been with Jim Harbaugh in his first season in the back in the NFL?
Yeah, I'm not really that surprised. I would have put money on them to make the playoffs. He probably would have had some pretty nice odds. I don't remember what it was preseason, but I mean, he's had success in the NFL. He's been able to turn around teams quickly, whether that be the 49ers, whether that be Michigan, whether it be the Chargers now. I mean, he's always been able to, instill his culture pretty quickly. He basically, the Chargers have always been a team that has gotten in their own way. They've had talent, as a franchise, like historically, they just can never seem to put all the pieces together. And he's definitely someone who can help show you what it takes to be a winner.
Chris?
Shout out
Adam.
Oh,
Shout out
Adam.
Coming in with the bomb.
Adam Pyatt in the Woodward Sports Chat. Sorry, I was scrolling through Twitter looking at these pussy-ass Vikings fans. But he says, love you, boys. Shout out to you, Adam. Adam Pyatt with the $100 super chat, man. Yeah. Appreciate you, brother.
Shout out, Adam.
Lots of pussy on Twitter, whether it's Vikings Vikings fans or porn. Lots of pussy on Twitter. True. Either way. But you know what? I am impressed with Jim Harbaugh. I do want to give him his credit. However, and maybe I'm biased, but I'm picking the Texans in this game.
What?
I think this is the perfect setup where everybody is going to put their money on the Chargers. This happens every year in the playoffs. There's one team where everybody's like, this is a sure lock. And 85-90% of people put the money on that, and it's the other team that wins and pulls it off. So now I do have a Super Bowl.
You're taking the Texans?
I'm taking the Texans.
Wow.
I know, and I do have a Super Bowl of Lions-Texans that is an unrelated, uninfluenced decision. But no, I do think this is that one. Just gut feeling tells me Chargers are going to sell this one. But he has done a good job.
I think Brandon Staley was the reason that the Chargers were selling. I don't think Jim Harbaugh lets that happen. But yeah, I like it, Chris, going out on the limb. And shout out again to Adam Pyatt in the Woodward Sports Chat.
There's going to be one upset.
We love you too, brother. There's going to be an upset for sure.
Dog behavior by Adam. Thank you so much. All right, here we go. Speaking about a dog, Lamar Jackson. Currently 3-5 in his career versus the Steelers, fellas. Does Tomlin have the recipe to slow down this Ravens offense and pull the upset?
No. The Steelers are going home.
Career numbers don't do anything for you there?
I'm ready to get hurt again. I know Lamar Jackson, notorious playoff choker, but Lamar Jackson has never had Derrick Henry in the playoffs. Like, go look at Derrick Henry's playoff stats. That guy is a monster when it comes to January and February. Well, he hasn't played much February football. But when it comes to December and January football, that's where Derrick Henry makes his money. I think you see 25 carries out of Derrick Henry. I think you see a lot of run, a lot of play action. Obviously, the Zay Flowers situation, you hate to see that because he was having a fantastic year. Hopefully, he's all right, but it didn't look good. But no, I think you see a healthy dosage of Derrick Henry, and I think he runs the ball down the Pittsburgh Steelers' throats. Steelers are falling apart right now, by the way.
Yeah, I agree with you, to be honest.
And Lamar's winning his third MVP in a row.
I think, I think Josh Allen might want to talk, but
I don't think he does.
Wow.
Could you imagine Josh Allen having Derrick Henry in his backfield?
I mean, yeah, that's true, but could you imagine being...
I mean, I know Lamar's numbers are insane.
Being a two-time MVP, doing things that no other quarterback has ever done in the history of the NFL and not winning the MVP in your best year.
I think they gave it to Josh because of the supporting cast around Lamar.
I don't hate it.
But, yeah, Lamar's been absolutely unreal. But I'm with you. I think the Steelers fell apart, and I think the Chiefs broke them on Christmas.
Yeah.
That was such an ugly game from the Steelers.
Terrible.
And now you got, Pickens, no showing recently. He's their only really spark on offense that I've seen. So, yeah, I'm with you on that. I do not think Mike Tomlin slows them down. All right, we can finally get to Chris's Denver Broncos. We've been on them all year. Denver at Buffalo. Josh Allen has absolutely taken over the league this year. But do the Broncos, with star rookie and Sky Dog's best friend, Bo Nix, have a chance to pull this one off? Because I don't think they do. Chris, how are you feeling first off about your Denver Broncos?
Look, I'd like to speak on my team, on behalf of my team. We are fucking cooked. It is over, dog. It is over. Listen, Patrick Surtain, PS2. You know what? PS2 is great, but this motherfucking Josh Allen is a PS5 right now. It's not even close. Josh Allen is going to do his thing, and this team is going to win. I know there's a pretty high spread. I think it's like 8.5 or something like that last I checked. I could even see the Bills going above that, man. I really could. You guys called me a madman that they're getting there in the playoffs, and I got them to the playoffs. I willed them to the playoffs. I will take credit for that. Now that they are there, I'm completely jumping ship. It's over. These boys are cooked. Done.
Again, shout out to Adam Pyatt for the $100 super chat in the Woodward Sports chat. We really appreciate that.
Big baller.
I don't know, man. Like, am I crazy to think the Broncos could win this game?
I think with
that's
Bo Nix
crazier than my
rolling
Chargers take.
Bo Nix strolling into Buffalo.
Bo Nix rolling into Buffalo. He's been playing so fucking well, though. Obviously, Kansas City set their whole team.
Yeah.
But he still looked really good. He's looked really good this year. I think he's going to win Rookie of the Year.
Over Daniels. And his rushing.
I do. And I just think that Sean Payton's a good coach, man. No. All right.
No.
The Buffalo Bills are going to win this game. No. I think it'll be closer than people are expecting, though.
Yeah.
I think it could come down to like a field goal or a walk-off touchdown by Josh Allen or something like that.
We talk about Bo Nix. We talk about Daniels. I just think, and you have so many superstar quarterbacks in this league. This league that's never been in a better spot, I don't think, in my lifetime, to be quite honest, when it comes to superstars at the quarterback position. But no, I don't think the Denver Broncos have a chance. I think it was good to see Sean Payton kind of get back on track, get the Broncos back to relevancy. They really haven't been in a long time. So good for Sean Payton, good for Bo Nix. But no, I don't think they stand a chance in this one. Chase, any last words on this before we hit break?
I think it's going to be the biggest blowout of the weekend.
Yeah.
I think the Bills are going to kill the Broncos. And, that pretty much put a nail in the coffin for that one.
Yep, don't hate that at all.
All right, let's go to break. We're going to come back. And we'll take your mailbag questions, but first, tell us about Jahymr Cannabis, Nick.
All right, Woodward sports fans.
Known pot smoker, Nick Kohloff.
Whether you're hitting the game or just chilling, Jahymr Cannabis has you covered. Jahymr is home to the Michigan's largest lineup of rec cannabis products. They've got 27 locations across the state repping Michigan in a big way. 9 locations are right here in Metro Detroit, so there is one nearby. And if you're in Grand Rapids, Madison Heights, or Milan, get ready. New stores are coming your way soon. Jahymr Cannabis.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Sabbath Coffee Roasters, locally roasted specialty coffee dropped off right at your doorstep. Support local and just enjoy great coffee with Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Use code word Woodward to get 25% off your first subscription. Order Sabbath Coffee Roasters, like I said, support local and just enjoy the best coffee. What up, though, everybody? Welcome back. Last segment of the show here on the Woodward Heavyweights, live on Woodward Sports. Make sure you smash the like button. Nick, you did a great job again.
Thank you,
filling
sir.
in for Easy Chase. Appreciate you filling in late minute. And Chris, you're all right. Let's look at these mailbag questions. Oh, wow. Okay, there's one. Thanks, guys. Mailbag here from Aaron to the Stone. Yo, boys. Well, specifically Nick, how confident we tonight with Michigan basketball traveling to Cali to play UCLA?
First game, I have seen us as underdogs in quite some time, honestly, under Dusty May. You took care of business against USC, pulled out of that one late. UCLA. I like our shot. I like our odds. I'm not going to lie. We've been out in California for some time now, and I like our odds in this one. I think Michigan, prior to this recent stretch, was favored to win the Big Ten for a reason. Dusty May has these guys playing extremely well. I know Sparty's playing well too, but I got to say Michigan looks like a team that is on a mission right now, and if they can control the turnovers, one of the most dangerous teams in the country. Shout out Danny Wolf, a.k.a. Poor Man's Bird. Absolute dog.
Baby Bird? Yeah,
Baby Bird.
Danny Wolf, he is a dog. He's fun to watch play basketball. He is a wolf. I don't know. I don't know with Michigan because that is the brand of basketball Dusty May plays or Dusty May coaches.
Yeah.
It's fast and loose. It's a lot of shots. It's a lot of turnovers. It's a lot of possessions. So things can either go very well or very poorly. We'll see. If they can take care of the ball, yeah, they should win. But that's a big if.
Also, I do like our odds going on the road against a UCLA compared to maybe some of the tougher Big Ten environments. I'm not sure what to expect out of a UCLA crowd yet, but I know one thing for sure. For the football games, they're not getting fired up and rowdy in UCLA. So I don't know what they're going to do for the basketball. I'm excited to see what the crowd looks like tonight.
I agree. John effing Lord in the Woodward Sports chat, he says, will Gibbs be an all-pro? No, I think since, unfortunately, there's only 2 running backs that make the all-pro team. There's 7 receivers, though, which I think it should be 6 receivers and 3 running backs, personally. But no, it's going to be Saquon. It's going to be Derrick Henry. He deserves it, for sure. But it's both of those guys just had insane seasons.
Yeah, my bad. I was reading a comment there. Before we do get off air, I know we got a few more minutes, but want to shout out Big Tim, my dad. He got surgery today. It was a spinal surgery. It went extremely well. He is on the road to recovery. So shout out Big Tim. Great. You're an absolute warrior, and hope to get you back in Ford Field for this divisional matchup.
Shout out Big Tim, man. Yeah, that's awesome. Good.
Everything went well.
Good. I'm very happy to hear that.
Yep. Shout out
to Big Tim. Hopefully he's resting up listening to heavyweights.
Yeah, hopefully.
Get that man. Send him some Uber Eats or something. Send him
hey, Tim, smash the like button.
Yeah. Hey, Big Tim, smash the like button. No, I'm happy for you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So
appreciate you sharing that with us.
Thanks, man. Last thoughts on the Red Wings going into this big game against the Ottawa Senators.
Yeah, I mean, they just got to keep doing what they're doing. Got to keep playing hard. Ottawa is a team that plays hard as well. They hit hard. They attack the front of the net. So you're going to have to bring that energy as well. You're going to have to match them. You're at home. You know, they're coming from obviously the road trip. So you need to go out there and you need to set the tone, get up early, allow your defense to get settled, and let Lyon do his thing. So I expect them to score twice in the first period. You go out there, get 2 in the first period, give yourself a nice lead, comfortable lead, and then just play some fucking hockey.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, when I think about the Senators, it starts with Tkachuk.
Yeah.
You got to be able to limit him, and if you can, you're going to be in business.
Adam Pye in the Woodward Sports chat, who donated $100 to the stream, said, can I get Nick to sing the MSU fight song?
I would love to, Adam, but I'm not familiar with it. If Spenny starts it off here, I might try to fill in where I can.
Get you ready. Yeah.
What do we got?
On the banks of the Red
Cedar. Cedar
is a school that's known to all.
Hell.
Their specialty
I don't know it, dude. I wish I could.
He'll do it for you tomorrow, Adam. Because we appreciate that super chat.
I'll learn it all day. Shout out Adam. Yeah,
we appreciate that super chat. Yeah. We appreciate all you guys taking care of us, taking care of the likes, taking care of the subscriptions. Woodward Sports just passed 76,000 subscribers on YouTube, so we're trying to get to 100,000 by the end of the month. No, I'm just kidding. But appreciate y'all tapping in. Make sure you smash that like button. Again, thank you, Chase, for filling in.
Shout out.
Chris, great job as always. Nick, great job on the desk, second day in a row.
Thanks,
Hopefully, Easy's well. Tommy doesn't wumble no more tomorrow. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.